Good evening to all of you guys. Once again, this is your dear boss speaking, and now we're on the third episode of Mapping 101 Thursdays. And of course, we're going to have some sort of mapping fixes, which is all powered by OpenStreetMap. And recently, well, our cameras got dead. We're going to switch to the full station ID. And of course, we're going to have some sort of mapping fixings. And of course, we're going to have another mapping fixes that are well requested by our local OpenStreetMap community. And without further ado, let's have some sort of mapping fixes that happened recently. Or better yet, let's shelve into the last part of the show, which is the Mall of Asia tram, in which it's a bonus editing portion. And now we're going to have some sort of live session. Don't forget to tune it in every Thursdays for another wonderful Mapping 101 session. And of course, I'm going to show it to you. The route relations that are now invalid. Of course, general community quarantine is here, and LTFRB have shown bus route rationalization, wherein all city bus routes have been divided already into several routes, thereby reducing it into 31 routes. And without further ado, let's have some sort of Mapping 101 fixes, and I'll show it to you the OpenStreetMap. The Java OpenStreetMap editor. And as you can see, this one is situated close to SM Marilao to be exact. And I'm not sure if some windows would appear. Hopefully there would be no technical errors. And now let's have some sort of mapping fixes. First up, I have spotted some sort of mistakes when it comes to roadway divided highways, wherein this highway 1, also known as the radial road 9, if I could disclose it to be exact, also known as the MacArthur Highway, it's divided into two parts. The one is the northbound, which is the highlighted in red, and this one is the southbound lane. And as you can see, this residential roadway has no problem. This one has no problem. But in this case, this and this roadway got incorrectly tagged. And now, to have some sort of fixings, let's highlight this service roadway and this node. Press P, and as you can see, there is a dialog already in the case of the Java OpenStreetMap editor. All you need to do is to select the way segment should the reusal of the history of a specific way number. In this case, it's the way 23717,577. So in that case, kindly select the 7 nodes in this example. And now, here's another mistake when it comes to merging these roadways or highways. Wherein, as you can see in this tagging section, the highway tag got into 2 different values, and the one way equals 1 yes and 1 unset. If you're trying to merge by pressing C or Charlie, then there is a conflict window right there. So in that case, you need to settle this right away. And so, the highway should be a residential, and the one way has to be disregarded or deleted in most cases. Then press apply if you're done. Then it's solved. However, in most cases, another bus routes might be redirected inside the service roadway. Let's zoom it out for illustration purposes. And as you can see, let me highlight this service roadway into 3 parts. And of course, it's a one-way. And unfortunately, if the buses or if bus route 2 could be entering the service roadway, then all you need to do is to correct them. So let me type it in city bus route 2 into the relations box or relations section. Or city bus route 1 rather. Wherein it could be from Monumento all the way to Balagtas. So in order to have some sort of corrections, all you need to do is to call the relation editor for that selected relation by pressing the edit icon. Then here are the following way segments that have been mapped recently, and unfortunately for some reason the video that I have recorded recently got overridden. And yes, of course, press the cancel first. All we need to do is to separate those way segments at the end. And as you can see, there are some sort of errors here. This one is the secondary. This one is the residential. All you need to do is to press this residential highway or roadway segment, select the node by pressing the shift and click, then press J or Juliet in order to separate those, or Alt plus Juliet in order to separate this way segment. As you can see, let me turn off the satellite imagery, and as you can see, this one is the leftover node after it got separated. Let me turn on this Maxar standard imagery once again. Therefore, all you need to do is to separate those surface roadway segment by pressing Shift and then click Alt plus Juliet or J. And separate also these two, and there you go. Let's assume that the nodes should be separated or be reused into the bus stop platforms if available. And this one, as you can see, a highlighted portion is actually a construction area for the upcoming PNR NSCR line. And the maximum speed for NSCR is at 160 kilometers per hour. And I have spotted some mistakes that the another way segment or railway segment has to be facing the correct way in accordance to the right-hand traffic rule. And so, due to the construction, this footbridge got affected already. Of course, we need to map it out, those affected way segments. Maybe let's move this node into this one, and then this one also. Press escape in order to avoid inadvertent creation of the way segment, then click, and the ID is 0. All you need to do is to merge these two, and there you go. On actuality, it's a dangerous junction, and this would cause some sort of safety issues. And hopefully the Marilao LGU would fix this one into, disallowing some sort of turns. And let's continue cutting those pieces of highway segment into 3 to cut, select those select a single way and two end nodes, press P or Papa, then all you need to do is to reuse those history of this one, 607255095 into the 30 nodes. In most cases, that said way is part of two relations or two other relations, which is the Highway 1 and the AH26, if it's applicable. Or, in most cases, the AH26 segment is not applicable in most cases of parts of Highway 1, wherein some parts might be at the expressway, Route 1, also known as the North Luzon Expressway, all the way until Santa Rita Interchange. And of course, I would advise you to download the missing members. And of course, it has to be done automatically. Kindly wait for a while. And there you go. Here's the caution. A role-based relation membership was copied to all new ways. You should verify this and correct it when necessary. So let's download the bus route and also the street relation, MacArthur Highway, for possible errors that might get generated. Let's check it first, the street relation. And technically, it's part of the Rachel Road 9. For the city bus route, it has to be corrected right away. This 5-node way could be removed since it might enter inside SM Marilao if there is a bus stop. Select those 3 service roadway segments, click on the last one, then add all objects. And please make sure that the way is connected. Press OK to exit. All we need to do is to place a bus stop and a platform. This one is a roof. And actually, this one is technically a transport terminal. And of course, it would be called bus or PUV interchange or bus rail interchange in the near future. This could be subjected to changes based on the factors that we need to consider. And of course, all you need to do is to add the base segment, which is also called a sidewalk or anything. Then don't forget to add the pedestrian crossing. This one is the way segment. I'll put this one as highway equals footway, footway equals sidewalk, update underscore transport equals platform. And there you go. Platform has been added. And of course, you have to be careful. This one has to be assigned as a pedestrian crossing. Highway equals crossing. Be careful. This is the number one mistake or common mistake to be avoided. The node should be tagged as the highway equals crossing. And if it's a way segment, then highway equals footway. So don't get confused. So let's add the way segment all the way to the entrance. And there you go. In that case, there are two doors here. Entrance equals main and the other one entrance equals exit. So to verify this one, I'm not 100% sure what door characteristic could be for SM Marilao. So if you're living in Marilao, kindly edit this code into the appropriate door characteristic. If it's a hinge or a sliding, well, let's assume that all SM supermalls have wheelchair access. Wheelchair equals yes could be added. Same as in here. Wheelchair equals yes. And there you go. All you need to do is to merge the two intersecting way segments. Press N or November to do it. And there you go. All you need to do is to tag the pedestrian crossing assist. Highway equals footway. Be careful. If in case of the tagging guidelines, and if you need some sort of information, don't forget to visit wiki.openstreetmap.org for more tagging or tagging guidance and information. And so, let's continue with this editing. Highway equals footway. Be careful, guys. Footway equals crossing. Then crossing underscore ref, Let's assume that it's a zebra type painted crossing or so otherwise. Or press the node that we have added or move rather earlier. Crossing underscore ref is equals to zebra. Crossing is equals to uncontrolled. Cross, or should I say supervised equals, sometimes there would be like security personnel manning the pedestrian crossing, and I'm not 100% sure if there's a time-based duty, or in actuality, let's say supervised equals yes. And unfortunately, there's no tactile paving only wheelchair accessible, unless SM would plan to do something for blind or low vision customers in the near future. And so we need to add another way segment. Be careful, guys. On those tagging attributes, highway equals footway, and of course, should be one way equals yes, since the entrance and the exit are separated by a sign. Entrance way has to be a one-way entry, and the exit door has to be also a one-way exit. Once you caught doing the wrong way entry or wrong way exit, you could be cited over. And of course, let's split this into two. No dialogue means we do not have a way segment that are stored in OpenStreetMap database. And so, in order to restore those way segments that have been previously deleted, all we need to do is to restore some sort of deleted way segment, and please make sure that you have sufficient plugins. Anyways, let's go into our screen. Anyways, we're going to have some sort of restoration of those deleted way segment, and I'm looking for a change set that says removal or deletion that I have previously made. Sad to say that some sort of overlapping proposed motorway link could interfere with the current village that has residents on it. Most residents would go into petition to oppose any sort of infrastructure project. Hopefully, this would not happen. Let's proceed into the full screen due to technical difficulties and those annoying notifications have shut off our camera systems, and I apologize for all of the sudden technical errors. And here we go. Going back to analyze those edits that I have to do. Let's edit this city bus route once again. All we need to do is to include the platform, then okay, then name it as SMCT Marilao. This one, highway equals bus stop. And here's the correct procedure for mapping out bus stops. All you need to do is to find an area that could be tagged properly as a node. And you have to be careful. There are upcoming infrastructures. Let's check it once again. And there you go. It's disconnected already. In order to avoid accidental connection, I would suggest that you should zoom it in and then add the node, then set it as a stop position. Public transport equals stop underscore position. Us equals yes. Share taxi equals yes. Name it right away. So let's edit it once again. The city bus route to add a stop position. On the left side of your screen, and as you can see, let's do it in the full screen. There you go. The stop and the platform has to be mapped properly in order to let the PTV2 recognize it. Next up, we have to restore those previously deleted way segments that coming from another location. And of course, you have to avoid some sort of restoration mistakes. And of course, All you need to do is to open it first, edit, then preferences. Hope that the preference window will open right away. And there you go. Press the plugins and it has to be processed in a timely manner. And for some reason, it would take some time. Let's solve to return into split screen. And as you can see on the right side of your screen, plugins are hereby loaded. And there you go. It has to be appeared for some time. All we need to do is to type this one and delete. Make sure that it's enabled. And of course, if you press this OK button, you'll be prompted to restart Chosom or Java OpenStreetMap editor. But since I have activated the plugin, then excuse me, please, I have to cancel it. All you need to do is to do a file, then undelete object. All you need to do is to type the object ID. November or N is a node. Romeo or R is a relation. And way or whiskey or W rather is a way segment. And I have some sort of way segment to be restored. If there are missing letter, then it's invalid already. If you type whiskey, then it indicated as a way segment. We're going to undelete this one. And don't forget to download and there you go. You need to delete those unwanted attributes. And as you can see, if you have this plugin, move alert, should I say, you will be prompted that the said object, if it's moved from a certain distance, which it says 162 meter, 80 centimeter, you will be prompted. This is to ensure that there would be no mistakes when the editing will commence. All you need to do is to select those three, node and away, zoom it out, and move it as far as possible to another location. And there's another prompt, 14 kilometer, 289 meter. Let's move it once again. and another prompt will appear 10 kilometer 902 meter. Let's move it all the way until the target location, SM Marilao. This time it's 3 kilometer 451 meter 50 centimeter. Let's zoom it in right there. All we need to do is to merge those elements from the one that has an ID or way or node, way number rather, with the unnumbered way segment. To do this, let me zoom it into SM Marilao. And all you need to do is to merge if needed by pressing Shift plus click and then Charlie or C. Or Mike rather. Merge these two and there you go. And of course, we have to avoid some sort of mistakes when it comes to editing those things. Another one is the Philippine Arena, in which I have edited earlier. But all we need to do is to edit some sort of, incompatible bus route. Let's reuse it into something purposeful or purposeful. This one is tagged already as a footway. And of course, as you can see, those bus routes have been deactivated temporarily since there is an ongoing construction of the North Integrated Terminal Exchange. That's November India Tango X-ray. And for some reason, some editors could have some sort of mistake when it comes to tagging those temporarily suspended bus routes. And I'll open this sample. Since all of the bus routes or provincial bus routes from the north could be potentially diverted to Philippine Arena or Ciudad de Victoria to be exact, what I have done recently is this. I have to tag this one as a proposed route. No reference since there's no numbering scheme as of this moment. The city bus routes have some sort of numbering scheme or reference rather. Let me say this one. The old city bus Charlie from Baclaran to Nafotas It's now incompatible already. So let me say, let's delete this one. Delete the unnecessary tags. And of course, we have to tag this one. This one is the outer. Don't forget to type it in. Type equals small type polygon, and of course, amenity equals or leisure equals swimming pool, to be exact. Smoking equals no. Since it's in no smoking zone, you might get arrested. Access could be under discretion of the management. And that's the short trivia or tip for you to add those amenities or leisures or any multi-polygonal relation with the existing tags that are being mapped on the way segment. And so, before I conclude this broadcast, or webcast rather, I have received some sort of message that comes from the suggestion, which is the Mall of Asia's tram, in which they have disagreed onto what I have mapped earlier. And I do appreciate your feedback, Sir Eugene, or at Shea Echo Alpha Victor, if you know him. He's also doing some sort of OpenStreetMap Philippines task, especially the yesterday's We Map episode. He's also a host. And of course, we're going to fix it in the Mall of Asia. And unfortunately, due to lack of time, because I need to end this live episode early due to another webinar that I have to attend. So without further ado, let's edit the Mall of Asia. Let's download the Mall of Asia that it says specialized bus or buses that are outfitted to make it look like a tram. But in actuality, for OpenStreetMap, the reason for his disagreement is this. In OpenStreetMap, trams have actual rails embedded into the road. Not for Mall of Asia, it's a specialized bus. So let me sort this thing out. Let's remove the railway tagging. And now, if you're wondering, such tagging of the tram route could be best if you're, say for example, at the other countries wherein trams are embedded into the street as part of the commuting system. Railway equals tram has to go. And of course, all we need to do is to have some sort of fixings. And now running out of time. Hopefully this would be I'm going to edit this one. Mall of Asia, I'll show it to you. And of course, all you need to do is to find some sort of route relation that relates to it. The route should be a bus. Make sure that the PTV2 is set. The interval is okay. I'll select those 3 or 5 nodes. Stop position. Bus. Replace tram with a bus. Then railway has to go. Let's select those 5 platforms or covered platforms rather. This one has to go. Railway equals platform. It's now a public transport. And that concludes the live mapping 101 session. Don't forget to tune it in next week for another mapping 101 episode. So see you guys. Take care everybody. Thank you so much to OpenStreetMap community. Be safe, be well always, stay at home.